Hey everybody, welcome to another podcast episode of the KnicksNation podcast. This is episode 6, and I'm here joined by my co-host, as always, Chris. The New York Knicks have clinched a playoff spot, baby. Let's go, Chris.
Let's go, Knicks. Finally clinched that spot. Top 6. Let's go, Knicks.
Top 6 indeed. They beat the Washington Wizards. The Wizards basically sat everybody, and it got dicey there in the end, but in the beginning, but the Knicks second half, they locked in on the defensive end. Defense has been a problem lately, but we have clinched a top 6 seed in the Eastern Conference. Now, the magic number to clinch a top 5th seed, where the Knicks are right now, the 5th seed, I believe, is 1. So any combination of the Nets losing and the Knicks winning, the Knicks get the 5th seed. It's looking more and more likely that the New York Knicks are going to get that 5th seed. Chris, the Knicks are 3-1 against the Cleveland Cavaliers this year. Does that mean anything?
I I want to say yes. I mean, look, I know the regular season is the regular season, playoffs is playoffs, and you can't really go by that, but I mean, you got to take a little bit out of it, We obviously match up pretty well with Cleveland. These aren't games that the Knicks have won where it's like, Donovan Mitchell doesn't go off or the team just doesn't play like themselves. These are games where Donovan is giving his best shot at us. And, they're just playing, both teams playing at a high level. And I mean, to me, it matters. I know playoffs, game plans change, but it matters to me. What do you think, man?
Look, what was the Knicks record versus the Atlanta Hawks 2 years ago when they played them? They beat them, I think, the same thing, the same amount of wins, 3-1. But hey, the playoffs are a different animal. We know that for sure. Look, Cavs are missing Jared Allen. I get it, but we beaten them with Jared Allen. It's going to be a dogfight, man. It's going to be like one of the best playoff series we've witnessed in a while, man. It's not. I don't think it's going to be like the Knicks and the Hawks because we obviously have Jalen Brunson now, and anytime you have him running the ship, running the show, hopefully Julius Randle can get healthy for that. But, my thing is, in that series, I'm probably going to pick the Knicks. Call me biased. Whatever. I don't care. But I'm probably going to go Knicks in 7. I do think it'll go 7 games. I just have to see the health of Julius Randle, right? We just need him to get healthy. And he was in the walking boot on the bench tonight. That's, normal procedure. Anytime you sprain an ankle, you want to be in a walking boot. You don't want to put pressure on that ankle. So, look, Randall's going to have some time here, Chris, to get right. And Brunson, too. We have 3 games left in this season. And, now the number one priority for me, get everyone healthy. Josh Hart left the game tonight, the Wizards game, but it's like tweaked his ankle. But he was, quote-unquote, cleared to come back. The number one priority to me is get everyone healthy, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, and that's the beauty about clinching this top 6, playoff berth, because now the Knicks don't really have to worry too much. I mean, don't get me wrong. We want to clinch that 5th if we can get it. And it's looking likely like that's going to be the case. But, it's little things like Josh Hart, almost spraining his ankle pretty badly and, having Julius already out and RJ feeling sick under the weather, this is the time now where we can actually sit some guys. We have enough talent where we should be able to win one more game.
Yeah.
And just lock things up, get healthy, throw the entire, Knicks G League team for the rest of the season if we have to. And just get everybody right, Like that's the benefit about clinching right now.
Yeah, I mean, although these three games coming up, Pacers are a scrappy team. We should be able to beat them 1 out of 2 times. Then we have the Pelicans. What's his name on New Orleans? Brandon Ingram is currently playing out of his mind, but yeah. Then we have the Pelicans. Time, right? We should be able to beat. We should be able to win one more game. But yeah, number one priority to me is get healthy. And look, Julius Randle, we missed a week, so Julius Randle in that time frame got hurt with an ankle injury. Looked pretty bad, Chris, when it happened. Stepped on Bam Adebayo's foot. Could barely walk. Actually got up, tried to walk around, hit 1 or 2 free throws, went straight back to the locker room. There was actually reports that he collapsed in the tunnel because he was in so much pain. But he looks like he's in good spirits, so I'm pretty sure, look, Randall comes from the Mamba tree, man. He's a warrior, man. He was well on his way to play every single game this season, and then just this unfortunate injury hampered him from doing such. So Randall has been a warrior, but hopefully we can get him healthy. And Chris, during this run, we've had performances from many Knicks. I mean, we could start anywhere. I mean, we could start with Quentin Grimes, Manuel Quickly, Isaiah Hardenstein. We can go player by player and just break it down. But I guess I want to start with Q Dot, man. I mean, Quentin Grimes has been playing really well lately, like extremely well. He's been playing with confidence. And Chris, his 3-point shot has been falling. His playmaking ability has always been there this year. And what are you seeing from Quentin Grimes in this stretch that's getting you excited? I mean, he's been awesome.
I mean, everything basically. He's no longer looking as hesitant as he was. He's either making a quick decision to shoot, or now you're starting to see him put the ball on the floor and actually drive into the paint. And these wild layups he was doing early on in the season. Now he looks more controlled. He's been amazing, man. I mean,
Yeah.
knocking down his shots. He's a present now with the drive. They got to honor that now. I mean, again, his defense is just off the charts. Like, what don't you love about this? And right at the perfect time, when we're getting ready for playoffs, you got Quentin Grimes just showing you everything we thought he would be.
Yeah, so during this stretch, let me just read you some numbers here. Quentin Grimes is shooting 50% from three. These are his past 6 games. 50% from three. He's shooting 52% from the field. Crazy. Averaging 1 steal a game, 4 assists a game, 4.8 rebounds a game, almost 21 points a game. And I mean, 83% from the line. Bro, I mean, it started with the Miami game when he dropped 22 points, and then after that, 25 points. Houston game, he was solid. Miami again, Cleveland, and then Washington tonight. I think during the Washington game, the game that was tonight, he was, the Knicks were, sleeping at the wheel in the first half, and then Grimes and Obi Toppin. Can't forget about him. I mean, we could talk about him soon, but yeah, Grimes has been leading the shit, man, and it's players like that gets me. It's players like Quentin Grimes that get me excited for the playoffs. Yeah. They do. I mean, when you have Grimes, Obi, Hardenstein, I mean Josh Hart, I'm excited for the playoffs just because these guys are X factors, in my opinion. We know what Brunson can bring, and we know what Randall can bring. It's these guys right here that we need to show up.
Yep, and like you said, when you have Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, like you said, we know what they can do, and then you have some homegrown talent, Emmanuel Quickly, Quentin Grimes, and they're playing at such a high level on both ends, defensively, offensively. You throw in Obi there. I mean, he showed you what he can do tonight as well. I mean,
Obi Toppin, baby.
How can you not be excited right now? I mean, let alone we clinched a top 6 playoff berth, but I mean, man, I mean, don't get me wrong, Knicks have some things to clean up. Like, they've been starting pretty slow, most of these games. Still getting some really good wins out of it, but I mean, just these individual performances, you love to see it, especially when you're getting closer and closer to the playoffs. I mean, if that carries over, we're going to be a problem.
We're going to be a problem indeed. And, hopefully it does carry over because this is happening towards the end of the season, and Grimes he's shown flashes in the early on in the season. He's shown flashes. It's just that too many games, right? He was shooting the ball, 2-3 times a game, and so many times I was, doing the post game and saying, why is our starting shooting guard shooting 3 times a game? Why? It doesn't make any sense. Give the ball to Quentin Grimes. Yeah, I mean, you just give the ball to Grimes. Like run. I know Grimes is most of the time he's standing in the corner. He can do so much than just stand in the corner. And he's been showing you that, and it's just honestly incredible to watch. And along with the front runner to win the 6th man of the year, man, you're quickly, boy. This guy, man.
He won it. It's his. They got to give it to him now.
he was actually an underdog a few weeks ago. Boston game, he was still an underdog in some sites. Now he's a clear front runner. And, what can't I say about Emmanuel quickly? This kid, man, has been playing simply incredible for the Knicks, and he's been a huge reason why we've clinched this top 6 seed. You can throw in everybody else, but Emmanuel quickly, Chris, has been dominant all season long. His defense has been dominant. He's one of the top defenders in the league, believe it or not. That's a fact. So his 3-point shot has been consistent. IQ, bro.
Yeah. I mean, what more can we say about Emmanuel quickly? I mean, this guy, came into the season, completely turned around his, what everybody thought about him defensively. Jalen Brunson got hurt. He came in and just, it was almost like you didn't feel it as much, because I won't say the Knicks aren't good without Brunson, but I'm just saying that's how good Emmanuel quickly was. Just game after game, just showing up, performing. I mean, I can't say what more can I say about Emmanuel quickly that hasn't been said out there? I mean, this guy has to win the Sixth Man of the Year. He's just amazing.
Yeah, hand him the trophy.
And just give it to him now. I mean, it's crazy to think, a couple months back, the Knicks were actually entertaining calls on him.
First round pick, right?
Yeah, first.
Hey, look.
Yeah, he can't go nowhere. He can't. They need to lock up Emmanuel quickly.
What is a contract for you looking like for Emmanuel quickly? What are you calling his agent over? What are you bringing to the table this summer for Emmanuel quickly?
I'll be honest. If I'm quickly, I'm like, hey, I'm playing better than RJ Barrett, and RJ got this. So what am I gonna get?
Oh man, you ain't wrong.
I hate to say it, but I mean, and I love RJ, but look, quickly made the jump that everybody wants RJ to make, basically. I know there's 2 different positions, but
facts.
I mean, quickly is what, 3rd year right now?
3rd year.
Yeah, yep. I mean, if I'm IQ, if I'm his
so you're saying more than RJ?
I mean, I'm saying, he has to get around that, if not the same, maybe a little bit more.
No,
I don't know how the money works, but when you got big money tied up in 3 guys already, but you gotta retain Emmanuel quickly.
What you just said is what I'm afraid of. They have 3 guys tied up to big money. Evan Fournier has another year left. Remember that? I don't know how they get rid of him. We're going to talk about this Dallas Maverick pick that's looking like it's not going to convey, which has been depressing.
That's what.
Yeah. And look, Emmanuel quickly, over his last 10 games, 20 points a game, 4 assists, 4 rebounds, 36% from 3, 1.5 steals per game. He's been awesome. And I would have to agree with you, man. I would, if his agent is going to the, table, Leon Rose is across the table, Emmanuel quickly is there with his agent, and they're like, look, all this mid 3 talk, all this big 3 talk, RJ Barrett has been in this conversation for majority of the season. It's been Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, and RJ Barrett. But we all know, has Emmanuel quickly moved into the big 3 talk with Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, and now it's Emmanuel quickly. It's not RJ Barrett. Yeah. And I'm comfortable in saying that. I am. I've seen enough. Yeah. This season we haven't seen growth from RJ Barrett. I mean, we just haven't. He's 19 points a game, not shooting the 3 well. His defense has been on and off so far this season. I want RJ Barrett to succeed. This is not us bashing RJ Barrett, man. I mean,
right. No, 100%.
We love RJ, man. It's just, it's just frustrating at times. His tunnel vision, like you said before the podcast started, we were talking about RJ, and you said, on these fast breaks, he has tunnel vision, and he just doesn't know when to give the ball up, doesn't know when to, pass the rock, which is why him and Obi got into it a few games ago, which we'll also get into it. But which we'll also get into, excuse me. But yeah, man, if I'm Emmanuel quickly, I think you're right. I think it has to be 4 years, 110, especially now with this salary cap rising. Something along those lines, and I don't think the Knicks can afford it. But when you have quickly RJ and maybe Obi Toppin, I don't think they're going to extend him, but maybe that's why he's getting frustrated. Maybe that's why he voices like frustration over RJ Barrett, because he doesn't get playing time to show that he's improved and whatnot. But yeah, Emmanuel Quickly, 4 years. I would say it's like 4 years, 110, 115 million. And if you're the New York Knicks, you have to get it done, man. You can't lose quickly. So yeah, I agree with you in that regard. But yeah, in terms of him and RJ, that big three, you think quickly replaced them?
100%. I mean,
ooh, 100%.
I 100. I mean, how can you not? I mean, right now the way Quickly has played, I mean, we it's the same thing with RJ. RJ will show you these flashes, and then he'll go 4 games and just look completely out of it. I mean, just not. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say about RJ. It's maddening. Sometimes he's playing amazing, efficiently, and then other games like when he got into it with Obi, you can see he's trying to do too much. Instead of making the winning plays, hitting the open man, he's going up with 3 defenders all around him. And, it's just not winning basketball, in my opinion. So when you look at what Emmanuel Quickly has done in 3 years versus RJ Barrett, who I believe is what, 5th year? 4 years?
This is RJ Barrett's 4th year. In the
4th year. So, yeah, when you look at that, I mean, everybody thought RJ was going to take that leap. And it looks like it's Emmanuel Quickly. And, I wouldn't be shocked if RJ gets shopped, in the offseason. Because
I wouldn't either.
With the money, I mean, Quickly's going to command his dough. And you're going to have to find a way to, if the Knicks are going to trade for another piece, a superstar, I'm pretty sure RJ Barrett and unfortunately Obi Toppin are going to be a part of those talks.
Yeah.
Which sucks because, again, I love RJ Barrett. I want to see him become a star or as close to a star as he possibly can. And same thing with Obi, man. Everybody knows I love Obi here. I don't want to see either one of those guys go, but
Obi Toppin's fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But it's a shame, man. I wish we could keep them all, right? But that's not the reality.
Yeah. I think Knicks fans, before the season, they were unwilling to get rid of RJ Barrett. Now, I think they're more willing to get rid of RJ Barrett. I'm not saying do it. Still super young. But we keep throwing the age out there with RJ. And, look, playoffs are a new season, right? RJ Barrett can freaking dominate in the playoffs, and we can just all look stupid and have egg on our face, which I hope is the case.
Yeah.
But yeah. So Quickly has been awesome. Obi Toppin, Chris. I mean, he started the last 2 games. The game in Cleveland, huge win against the Cleveland Cavaliers. But didn't really play in that game. But he was efficient in that game. He was still playing really well. And tonight against the Washington Wizards, what's funny is Toppin played 9 minutes of the first quarter. Then Evan Fournier got some time in the second quarter. Obi Toppin did not play the entire second quarter. And I was like, you texted me. I was like, Obi Toppin hurt? Like, what's going on? Like, and I was like, no.
I was confused.
I was like,
he
no.
played well those 9 minutes. He was out there, He, against the Wizards, man, you need Obi Toppin out there for his length when you don't got Julius,
Yeah, bro. So
I didn't understand.
Yeah, so he was playing extremely well, along with Grimes and Quickly, and then did not get any run in the second quarter. I was like, this is crazy. Like, this is... And then Tom Thibodeau literally plays him the whole second half. Doesn't play Evan Fournier again, but yeah. Obi Toppin with a season-high 21 points for Obi Toppin, along with 4 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. Had a crazy sequence where he blocked a shot, then had a fast break run on his own, then laid it up. 9 of 15 from the field, 3 of 8 from 3. Looking like Steph Curry out there, Chris. Obi Toppin has improved his 3-point shot this season. And with Obi Toppin, it's always been about minutes. It's always been about where can we find minutes for this young, rising player that we have on the bench. Just, sitting there waiting for a substitution Julius Randle normally plays the entire first quarter. He's been, blocked by Randle, and that has been, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, it's just unfortunate circumstance that, we have a bunch of guys. iHeart's been playing well, so you can't find minutes for everybody, right? But Obi Toppin's doing what we expected, Chris, in these minutes, and he's when given minutes, Obi shows you that he still got it in the tank.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, Obi, especially this game, he showed you a little bit of everything. He showed you just shot. He showed you that one deep shot that he took also, which was
Yeah,
crazy. But the coast to coast after a block, like you mentioned, um, the 4 assists that he had. There's a lot of talent there in Obi Toppin, and like you said, it's unfortunate he can't get minutes, even when even when Julius is out hurt. You'd figure, Tibbs would run Obi the whole entire freaking game, and
yeah,
still he's getting pulled. 9 minutes in, pulled. Like,
yeah.
why? I don't understand. But remember Obi Toppin, before he was drafted, he was deemed a experienced player, just NBA ready out the gate with his offense. Granted, his first seasons didn't go as planned offensively, but he has all the tools there, and I want him to discover everything and just lay it out for everybody to see, because it just seems like, unfortunately, with Obi, he's gonna be, he's one of those players that will get traded and then become a star with another
You think
team.
so?
I just see,
I don't
that's
see
just how I
that.
see
Yeah,
it. Yeah, I see it happening because he's good, man. He's showing you. He shows. I think the previous season too, he ended the season strong. Had a couple of 20, 30, 40 point games.
yeah,
So I mean, I know it's the end of the season and everybody wants to say garbage time, but it's still the NBA, and these guys are out there still trying to prove they got it. So
yeah,
but I love Obi. He showed he was in his bag tonight, and
yeah.
I mean,
Somebody,
he has to get minutes, man. He just has to get minutes.
somebody on Twitter compared him to like Sean Marion. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I actually like that comparison.
That's a pretty good comparison.
But
I still say Amari,
Amari,
bit of Amari.
yeah. I mean, Obi does have to, get stronger and on the defensive end too. Just he does have to lock down. But yeah. I don't like if he gets traded somewhere else. I see him becoming like a good player, but I don't see him. I mean, becoming a star. But hey, you never know, man. I mean, these guys once they get their minutes, they turn into freaking Steph Curry out there, man. But Obi has been
Well,
playing well.
let
Go
me
ahead.
clarify a little bit. It is all depending on where he goes. If he goes to a team that plays fast and plays to his strength, which Obi likes to run. If he goes to a fast paced system, I think he'll become a star. But it's true. It really depends on where he goes
Yeah, it
and if he
does.
goes.
Yeah, if he goes to. But right now he's on the Knicks, so we love him. We love Obi Toppin, but his minutes has been, not, he hasn't been getting the minutes that he wanted to early in the season, wanted to get early in the season. But most of that has to do with Isaiah Hartenstein, Chris, and Isaiah versus the Cavaliers. Isaiah Hartenstein was that fourth quarter that Hartenstein put on. He put on a clinic. He was
Yeah.
passing the ball. His vision is incredible. Offensive rebounding is incredible. His defense has been solid here. I mean, Hardenstein has built chemistry with Josh Hart now in the second unit. And, that's what's going to ultimately tell us, how we're going to do in a 7-game series versus the Cavs. It has to be our bench. And Hardenstein has been playing well. Hart, Obi. But that's why Obi hasn't been getting the minutes this season because, Chris, sometimes Isaiah Hardenstein is closing these games above Mitchell Robinson. And, Mitchell Robinson, that's not saying Mitchell Robinson's not playing well, but I think Isaiah Hartenstein brings a different dimension, like the
Yeah.
playmaking ability, the passing. You don't really get that with Mitchell Robinson as you do get that with Isaiah Hartenstein. So I think that's why we're noticing Hartenstein close out these fourth quarters other than with Mitchell Robinson. I mean, what do you have to say about Hartenstein? He's been, the turnaround, like you said earlier, has been incredible. Knicks signed him to a 2-year deal. Was struggling early on in the season. Now he's balling, man. I mean, I can't believe it. I really can't.
Yeah. I owe a huge apology to iHeart
Yeah, me too.
because I was on many times saying how man, what is this? Typical, Knicks player. We get a good solid piece from another team, and they just completely get lost. Like they're not themselves. Just our luck. No, I don't know if it was that Achilles injury that just maybe healed up recently or whatever the case may be. I heart. I mean, that Cavs game, I literally was in awe. I mean, this guy
Yeah.
was everywhere, blocking everything. Like I couldn't believe it. I was just like, all right, this is the guy we thought we were gonna get all along, and he's just. I mean, how can you put Mitch back in when you got Ihart playing the way he plays? And
It's such
again,
a
I
luxury.
feel bad. I feel bad for Mitch in a sense because he obviously Mitch has been going through a little bit of something recently, but this must not help for his psyche. But
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly feel like it's a good problem to have. I mean, like you said, iHeart brings a different dynamic to the team that Mitch doesn't. Even though tonight Mitch did have 4 assists, I believe. So Mitch trying to show you a little bit of something there, saying I can pass too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, iHeart has been amazing, and he again another player who is just peaking at the right time for us here.
That indeed, man. I mean, his play has been amazing. Quickly, Hardenstein has been great. Brunson, 40. I mean, the game against Cleveland, Jalen Brunson just. That game
Yeah,
to me was a statement game, Chris. When Brunson went out there and went toe to toe with Donovan Mitchell and was going back and forth, Mitchell looked like he didn't miss in the freaking first quarter. He was hitting everything. Brunson was going toe to toe with him, and he was like, "Look, we know what I did to you last season in the playoffs, and I'm gonna do it to you again." But you know damn well the Cavs are gonna put Okoro on him. They're gonna put every defender. The Cavs are the number one defensive team in the NBA.
that's
So,
crazy.
and the Knicks went in there and dropped over 130 points. So yeah,
Without Julius Randle.
without Randall, I know they're missing Jared Allen. I get that. Cavs fans were commenting saying, "Oh, we're missing Jared Allen. See you in the playoffs." Okay, I'll see you in the playoffs. We'll see you in the playoffs and then talk.
I mean, I understand. I know Jared Allen is a beast on the boards. I know he can score it too, but I mean, they did have Evan Mobley out there who was. I mean, I think he's a little bit more dynamic than a Jared Allen. Look, I'm not trying to
Yeah,
downplay it. It was a good game. I mean, they
great game.
that
Yeah,
they were trading baskets. I mean, I didn't even know if the Knicks were gonna pull that one out. But, Jalen Brunson, he let it be known, hey, Donovan, what I did to you before, that wasn't a fluke, man. And you're starting to see them. I mean, getting towards the end of the season here, you're seeing teams, try to go after Jalen Brunson and putting bigger guys on Jalen Brunson. You've seen it for the past couple of games, actually.
hmm
And we're still finding ways to win. It's it's awesome. It's awesome to have a really, really good point guard.
yeah. They are running him off picks, and one issue for this New York Knicks team has been their 3-point defense. It's just been bad. Even the game against the Wizards and the Cavs game, they were just lighting it up. It's just that the Knicks matched the Cavs in terms of scoring, so obviously we won the game. But yeah, the game against the Wizards, Kispert, career high. There's always somebody, right, Chris? It's always
It's always one
somebody.
guy, right?
There's always
Yeah, Kispert
somebody.
became Ray Allen, just he tried to shoot from like the logo. I mean,
This guy,
I
bro,
don't get it, man.
good
But what do you
player.
think? Do you think it's the Knicks defense just not closing out on those threes, or do you think it's just for whatever reason we've been seeing this teams just shoot lights out for the first half?
It's a little bit of mix of both, man. It's the Knicks defense, and it's just been these teams are shooting incredible from three. I mean, the Wizards cooled off in the second half, but they were literally hitting everything. I know most of those shots were like open, like there was nobody
Yeah,
near them. But Kispert 4-11 tonight cooled off. Thank goodness, man. I mean, it's just I don't. They're exploiting something. Um, they found so I think the Miami Heat found like a little glitch in the Knicks defense. They're running through pick and rolls, and then Knicks are getting caught up in helping a lot, and then they're just passing the ball out, leading into wide open threes. and that's killing the Knicks right now. And most of that has to do with, you know, the defense from Brunson. Grimes has been put in these situations where he has to help a lot, and RJ Barrett, I mean, we all know his defense this year hasn't been great. So when you have Brunson, the Barrett, Grimes is like your only rock down there along with Mr. Robinson. So, you know, they have to clean it up, but that has to do with, you know, also teams are shooting lights out. It's just, I don't think it's going to be sustainable because we know during the playoffs, things tighten up, right? You know,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I hope. You know, if Donovan Mitchell was to have one of his, you know, 71-point games, I mean, there's just nothing you could do, right? I mean, but
Yeah.
I do think it'll hopefully change in the playoffs. Hopefully. Right?
Yeah, I hope so too. I mean, for whatever reason, it seems like these teams just come into the Garden and then they can't miss. And it's, you know, maybe it's just they're extra pepped up for playing at the Garden because we all know every team likes to come into the Garden and they just want to destroy us. You know, they want to walk all over us. So I don't know if it's a little bit of that, you know, a little bit of luck. But yeah, I think you nailed it. A lot teams are just in the same way they're putting bigger guys on Jalen Brunson. You're seeing a lot of these pick and rolls where they know, hey, if I beat my man, Mitch is gonna come over, and then that corner is gonna be wide open.
Yeah.
Or they'll just swing the ball until they get, you know, some sort of breakdown. And we've been seeing that, you know, pretty much consistently now with almost every team the Knicks have played. And
Yeah.
you know, it's difficult to scramble when that's the case, but hopefully something the Knicks can clean up and, you know, button up by the time we start the playoffs, because it's going to be tough if you're giving up wide open looks like that come playoff time.
Yeah, and the Cavs are, you know, they're in the middle of the pack. They're not really a great three-point shooting team. So, you know, obviously we know Mitchell can get hot at any given moment. Obviously Garland, I'm not concerned about Garland. I mean, we can get into the matchup next week when we actually have like a, you know, a clear vision of to who we're playing. We're 90% sure we're going to play the Cavs, but, you know, with Mitchell, Mitchell's a great player, superstar, but you're not going to neutralize him, right? He's going to get his points. No matter what you do,
try to contain him.
no matter what you do, Grimes last game, Grimes was doing, I thought, an okay job on him. Even Josh Hart was doing an okay job on him. Maybe the Knicks can mix in some McBride in there. Don't know. Don't think so. But yeah, Mitchell's going to get his points. He's probably going to average like almost 30 points a game in the playoffs. It's just the other guys around him. You got to contain him. It's just if Mitchell's willing to make that extra pass, then that's when you have an issue, because, you know, when Mitchell gets selfish here, he does get selfish a bit, Donovan Mitchell. So if the Knicks can get him to that point where he's getting selfish a bit and he's missing and throws their offense off, hopefully, you know, we can come up with a series victory, man. It's going to be a fun series. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be, like you said earlier, I don't think it's going to be like the Hawks series in the past. I mean, the guys we got on this team now, the way they're playing. And yeah, I think it's just going to be a really good series. Not sure, you know, how it'll go. It really depends. Again, like you said, how Mitchell goes, the Cavs will go, I say. If he's extremely hot every single game, I mean, it's going to be tough for us, but 100%. Mitchell gets, in the same sense that RJ Barrett gets tunnel vision. I feel like Mitchell gets his the same way. You know, he can start hot, cool off, and then he'll just continue to fire and fire and fire, trying to regain it. And sometimes he gets his teams in trouble with it. So that would be a best case scenario for us, in my opinion. If it happens every game, that'd be great. But
all right, yep.
It's gonna be a tough matchup. You know, I mean, 99% it's gonna happen, but it's gonna be fun, guys. The playoffs coming up. It's gonna be. I'm gonna watch every game, win or lose. It doesn't matter. We gotta enjoy this, Knicks fans.
Locked in, indeed. So yeah, the Knicks are going to the playoffs, and I guess we could talk about, you know, Obi Toppin and RJ Barrett had a little scuffle. I mean, we can just touch on it, but they made up for it. Had a little scuffle during the Cavs game, excuse me. And once again, RJ had that tunnel vision, missed Obi on a fast break. Obi Toppin, Chris, I've never seen this guy get mad at all. we've always seen positive Obi Toppin throughout his Knicks tenure. And Obi Toppin was screaming at RJ Barrett. Like, I don't know what was being said, but RJ was going back at him. And of course, Johnny Bryant was there to, push RJ a little bit off. But I've never seen Obi Toppin get that mad, Chris. I've never seen that
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah, I mean, I like I told you, I didn't actually see it happen live, but I saw it while I was scrolling down during the game through through the news apps, and I was like, what just happened there?
Yeah, it was
And
crazy.
Obi, man, like you said, Obi's always smiling. He's the biggest cheerleader when he's on the bench. He looked like he wanted to straight up strangle RJ Barrett.
For
And
real.
I mean, I guess he got tired of it. I've seen it. I've seen it many games, man, where RJ just goes on this, gets his tunnel vision. You see Obi pleading, begging for the ball in the corner wide open, and either RJ just flails, gets stripped, wild shot doesn't go in.
Yeah.
He makes it here and there, but I mean, I think you're seeing a little bit of a different attitude with Obi recently. I mean, even in tonight's game, I felt like he wasn't smiling as much. Yeah, yeah. I think it has to he has to be feeling it. He must
He's
know
looking
that
at
this is
quickly.
time to shine, man.
He's
Yeah,
looking at quickly. He's
exactly.
like, I know quickly is about to get paid, and I want to get paid too, and I'm not getting the opportunity. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah, he wants his chance to shine now that Julius is unable to play. He has a window, and a lot of eyeballs are on the Knicks. I'm sure he wants to impress. Um, and yeah, I think that's pretty much the big part about it. And like I said tonight, you see Obi, he's draining these threes, he's driving, he's finishing at the paint, he's assisting, he's getting blocks, and he's not goofing around laughing like you normally would expect Obi. He has a serious face on, running up the court, serious face. I mean,
Yep.
he's all business right now.
I love it.
So
I love it, man.
yeah, man. I mean, it's good for us right now, but it's interesting, something to keep your eye on again on the off season. We don't know what's gonna happen. A lot of
Yeah.
guys need need money.
A lot of guys need money, man. Quickly needs money. Everyone's looking at that RJ contract, saying like, "Look, I can get that
Yeah,
too." But yeah, a lot of guys need want to get paid, and Obi Top is maybe feeling the pressure, man.
yeah,
Quickly's all the talk has been around Emmanuel Quickly. 6 man this, 6 man that. He's playing great this season. And maybe these players are affected by everything. We're all human, so Obi Toppin's sitting there like, I'm only playing 10 minutes a game. I know what I can do. You know, I'm extension eligible coming up here, and I want to get my money too. And I don't blame him. I don't at
yeah,
all. And I have confidence in Obi that he'll provide in the playoff series. I do. Even versus the Atlanta series, he was playing well. So I have confidence in Obi Toppin. Um, in terms of like how much playing time he'll get in a playoff series, I'm pretty sure he'll go back to his 10, 15 minutes a game. Maybe Thibodeau would even shrink his rotation even more. But we just have to wait and see. I mean, what do you do you don't think Obi Toppin would get out the rotation in the playoffs, right?
I couldn't see it unless Tibbs, like you said, does something crazy and like really shrinks the rotation. But
Yeah.
in my opinion, who's to say maybe Tibbs won't run some small ball lineup or something like that? I mean, we've seen it in the past a little bit, the Obi Randall thing. I don't know the way that I Heart and even Mitch has been playing. I don't think we'll see that or anything like that. But I wouldn't say that he'll get Obi out of there. I mean, if Obi finishes the season and he's like on fire and playing the way like he did tonight,
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to leave him out of the rotation, in my opinion.
Yeah, it is. It is. So yeah, the Knicks have 3 games left. Obviously, the magic number to clinch the 5th seed is 1. So if you were Tom Thibodeau, put on your Tom Thibodeau hat. Knicks win their next game. 5th seed is locked in. Are you resting Jalen Brunson these last 2 games?
Well, and no, I'm not resting Jalen Brunson. He's gonna play 40 minutes the next game, and Yeah, sorry, no, no. If I'm Tibbs, I'm resting Jalen Brunson. If we lock up the fifth seed,
Yeah.
I would. I don't want anybody getting hurt. Like I said earlier, I'm running out the Knicks G League team. Trevor Keels, you're getting burned.
Trevor
Just
Keels, you're up.
ride.
Get in there.
Yeah,
40 minutes.
Trevor Keels, 40 minutes. Like, if I could make Trevor Keels play every position without letting another Nick get on the court, I'll do it.
Jericho Sims, I know you've been itching. Bro. Get in there.
We haven't seen Jericho Sims, like, I haven't even seen the camera pan to him ever since the freaking dunk
Because
contest.
every time the camera pans to him, this is his face. This is his face right here. Knicks could be up 30, and he's just like, if you're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, I'm just making a serious face. But if you're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, make sure to, join us here on YouTube so you can actually see us as we're visually talking right now. But appreciate you as always listening. But yeah, if I'm Thibodeau, I know he's not going to. Maybe the last game of the season he does, because Brunson's hand is still wrapped. And he got hit in the hand again today. And he was holding.
Got me nervous.
Yeah, and he's always taking charges. Any little tweak. Brunson is, look, put him in bubble wrap along with Josh Hart. Put them in bubble wrap. I do not need to see them. If the Knicks locked up this fifth seed, I do not need to see them again. I don't.
Yeah, no. Get Brunson the the armor that Melo used to wear underneath his freaking jersey, man, because Brunson is yeah.
I used to, when I first saw Melo, I used to, what the, did he get fat? Like, what's going on?
Yo, Melo's mad fat. Nah, he's wearing freaking plates of armor underneath his jersey.
I remember that, yeah.
This dude was getting beat up, but
Melo, man. Shout out to Melo.
Yeah, shout out to Melo, man. Yeah, but no, Jalen Brunson, he wants to be out there. Sometimes you got to save the players from themselves. I felt like he almost could have got hurt tonight. Again, he was reaching out his hand. He took a couple charges, which I was just like, please don't right now. The whole Josh Hart scare, again, like, but then again, it's Tibbs, and the Knicks were up, 14-15 with like maybe a minute and a half left in the game, and Jalen Brunson's still out there.
Still in there.
Why?
Still
like,
in there.
get him out of there, man. But that's Tibbs for you, right? I mean,
yeah, it is what I mean.
I hope they clinch and he does rest them, but we won't know till we know.
The beauty of having a top six seed in the East and the West is that you automatically get 6 days off because the play-in tournament starts before the actual playoffs. So, every team in the top six gets the same rest days. And it's a beauty, man. It's beautiful, honestly. And we're going to need it. We're going to need it for sure. Hopefully Brunson, hopefully we can lock up this fifth seed so we can rest Brunson. Hopefully Randall can get healthy. But the New York Knicks have clinched a top six seed in the Eastern Conference. It has been an incredible season. Yes. And I just cannot wait for the playoffs. I just can't wait.
It's going to be are coming.
It's going to be
exciting.
Wait. It's going to be really exciting. And, whether it's Donovan Mitchell, whether it's Philly or Boston, most likely Donovan Mitchell, it's going to be a heck of a first round. And Chris, man, we will be back next week with hopefully answer as to who we're playing. Probably the Cavs, but hopefully an answer as to who we're playing. We'll definitely know an answer by next week. What am I saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, can't wait to preview that matchup. Can't wait to preview the playoffs. It's just the Knicks are here, man. The Knicks are
here.
This has been. Stay tuned, man. This has been episode 6 of the KnicksNation podcast. If you've made it this far, really appreciate you. I know.
Yes, thank you.
Attention spans nowadays have been, dwindling down, but appreciate you. If you're on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, give us a review, please. Hit that thumbs up button on YouTube. Really helps out the channel with the algorithm and whatnot. And also subscribe if you're on YouTube as well. We will be back next week. I am Anthony, joined by Chris as always. And as always, it is Let's Go Knicks.
Let's go Knicks.
Peace.
Peace.